What is good, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Paul, and today I'm going to be doing an update to a video that I made almost 3 years ago, which is how to cop sneakers in Japan, whether you are in Japan or you are outside of Japan and you want to get into this market. And this video was desperately in need of an update because, well, I have 3 years more experience and I have a lot more details to share this time around. So if you watched that previous video, this is going to be a lot more helpful in my opinion. And if you never saw that video, well, you've come to the right one for the time being. Okay, I'm going to start off by talking briefly about the difference in resale price in Japan and elsewhere. The truth of the matter is, if you're looking at a recent hype sneaker that is basically had a full run of sizes and a pretty wide release in Japan compared to everywhere else, the prices are going to almost be the same. If you compare, for example, the Black Phantom Travis Scott lows, the price on resale in Japan compared to the price of resale in America, there's not much difference at all. Where it changes is when you have hyped releases that didn't release here, or things that were Japan exclusives that didn't release elsewhere. In regards to an example for things that didn't release in Japan, for example, Orange Lobsters or anything A Ma Maniére did not have a wide release in Japan. And so A Ma Maniére shoes are really expensive here. So the play there would be is bring A Ma Maniére shoes to Japan and sell them here. Now, there are Japan exclusives, and that means that some shoes that released only here or mostly here can sometimes really be cheap abroad, actually, because having had the full run here, their prices aren't really that high. And the perfect example of this is the Dunk High Fragment Tokyo. Now, the Dunk High Fragment Tokyo, as far as I know, really only released in Japan. And if you look at the most recent sales on StockX, you're looking at $160 or so for a size 9. Now, if you look at a size 9 on the StockX of Japan, which is Sneaker Dunk is the name of the company, and Sneaker Dunk is the name of the website as well, those size 9 Tokyo Fragment Dunk Highs, recent sales have been around 10,000 yen, which after you figure in the currency exchange works out to be about 80 some dollars. So a huge difference in price, even after you consider the shipping for international shipping. So what it comes down to is you have to do your research. You want to poke around sites like Sneaker Dunk and kind of find out where the deals might be, because a lot of the shoes really won't be that different, especially after you figure in the international shipping charges. Now, as for new releases, unfortunately, Nike and the Sneakers app in Japan, as well as the Adidas Confirmed app in Japan, do not ship internationally. So you would have to have them shipped somewhere in Japan and then sent to you from whoever that intermediary person or business might be. But they will not currently ship directly from Nike Japan or from Adidas Japan. And the prices actually are a little bit different. Not so much for Nike. The currency exchange difference is pretty much factored in, so the retail price is about the same. Adidas as well. The difference was before, when Adidas was still selling Yeezys in Japan had a much higher retail price for some reason, and anything New Balance tends to be a lot higher retail price, especially the made in USA or made in UK models. They are really expensive for retail here. So now I'm going to talk about the different places that you can get shoes from, whether you're in Japan or in the States or Europe or wherever, and I'm going to basically do a rundown of the places where I've found success in copying sneakers, and I'll let you know if they ship to Japan and or if they accept payments from foreign non-Japanese credit cards and like pay services like Apple Pay, etc. So starting off with Sneaker Dunk, which I mentioned before, which is Japan's premier legit check StockX-like resale market. They do accept foreign payment methods, and they will ship internationally, and they just have some flat rates for shipping to the US or to Australia, etc. And they do have blog posts that explain their system and the pricing, etc., etc. The problem with Sneaker Dunk is that the actual buying process and putting in your details, as far as I know, the app and the website pretty much only do that in Japanese. Luckily, however, the inputs on those pages are pretty straightforward. They're going to look pretty much like any other online shopping platform, so figuring out where to put your information won't be that difficult, and you can certainly figure it out with the use of like a browser extension translator or just copy pasting to Google Translate or something. You can totally figure that out. It won't take you too much time, and will be worth it because once you've got it set up, you don't have to worry about that part of it anymore. How about other bigger boutique retailers like Undefeated, Sneakers and Stuff, Atmos, etc.? Well, let's start with Undefeated. Unfortunately, Japan Undefeated will not accept foreign payment systems, and they will not ship internationally. So Undefeated is basically out. If you're in Japan, I have had considerable success entering their raffles for products. It's one of the sites where I've actually hit on occasion. So if you're in Japan, it's worth entering those raffles because it is possible to win on those. However, on the other side of that is Union. Now, Union will accept foreign payment, and they will accept, or they will ship internationally rather, in certain circumstances. They will not ship internationally on a hype drop, but like after the fact, anything that's sitting, you can often get international shipping on those things. Now, I have never ever hit on a Union raffle, ever. Neither for in-store pickup nor the online version. And anything that is dropping like Union 4s, Union 1s, new KOs, AJKOs that are coming out, Dunks, etc., they're only raffle style. There's no going to the site, first come, first serve, trying to check out. It's all signing up beforehand. I've never seen them do the drops like they do in the States. It's just, you have to come and say, I'm entering this raffle, and I have yet to ever win on anything on Union. So, good luck, but it's pretty unlikely to happen in my opinion. Sneakers and Stuff is another one that I have won on. Unfortunately, the things that are dropping right away will not be available for international shipping. However, anything sitting on SNS, Sneakers and Stuff, Tokyo shelves will ship internationally if you want to find a product that hasn't sold out, and you can likely get that shipped to you. But unfortunately not for the signups. Signups, you would once again have to have an address in Japan. Atmos, basically the same deal. A lot of the hype drops, Japan exclusives, etc. are not going to be available for international shipping. They do accept international payment methods, so that's good if you have someone to send your product to in Japan. And they will, again, ship some things internationally if they're set up to do so, but nothing that's dropping right away that people in Japan are going for raffle-wise. Those will only be shipped to Japanese addresses. The last thing really to talk about are the other resale sites, such as Yahoo Auctions and Mercari, that kind of thing. So back in the day, eBay and Yahoo Auctions fought it out, and for whatever reason, eBay won in America, but Yahoo Auctions won in Japan. So Yahoo Auctions is the premier auction site in Japan, and that's where you would want to have an account if you wanted to bid on ordinary people selling their sneakers on that platform. Now, to do so, you will have to go through an intermediary buying source, a business that will bid on your behalf. You will pay your money to that business as well as their fees and the shipping that they require to send to you. And then you will be able to bid on products as long as you go through that middleman intermediary service. Now, I cannot recommend a particular service at all because obviously living in Japan, I've never had to use them myself. However, I have dealt directly with Buyee, B-U-Y-E-E, which is one of those services that does a lot of bidding on Yahoo Auctions. It's the one I've seen most often, and I've actually sold to people bidding through Buyee before. And I'm guessing that's probably the most popular, easy to use service, but please don't quote me on that because, like I said, I haven't actually personally used them. All I can say is that I've seen them being used quite a bit. Apparently you can use these services, including Buyee, for places like Mercari, which is a seller's website where instead of doing an auction style, they're going to have more like a buy it now option. It's like at this price, and you'll just either choose to sell or buy rather, you'll either just choose to buy at that price, or you can negotiate a little bit if you leave comments, but again, that would probably have to be in Japanese if you want to say, hey, can you please knock 1,000 yen off the price? it's a Japanese seller, so you're going to be better off trying to do that in Japanese if you can, or again using translation software maybe. Now, you do have to be careful of fakes on places like Mercari and Yahoo Auctions. Unlike eBay, Yahoo does not have any kind of legit check service that they put in place, and as such you really have to pay attention and check the photos and check the seller's feedback and basically have some confidence that you're going to get something legit. And you can find really good deals on there. Just recently, I actually bought a pair of not for resale Jordan 1s. It was the red and black pair. And basically, I put a bid in on those that I thought there's no way this bid will win. I went to bed and woke up and lo and behold, it was the winning bid. And I paid about $700 for them. I ended up flipping them and selling them on Sneaker Dunk, and I made about $300 on top of that. So that was a nice come up. And I was just lucky that they legit checked as real. Yes, you can get some really interesting, good, rare, valuable sneakers off of Mercari or Yahoo Auctions. Again, just take your time shopping around, and always remember, if you're using that intermediary service, you have to figure out their fees and the international shipping involved. Okay, that is, I believe, a rundown of all the major services I've used. I'm not talking about some of the other boutiques, like some of the skate shops and Bait, Kith. I know they exist in, outside of Japan. Never ever got a whiff of any win on any of those sites in 3 years, 3.5 years. So I've kind of given up on those sites. I still enter some of the skate shop ones, but they usually have like 10 pairs, and so the likelihood of winning is pretty small. And none of those skate shops are going to be shipping internationally, so you pretty much have to be in Japan to go after those to begin with. If you have any additional questions about the information that I've given you or something that I've forgotten to cover, please comment in the comment section below. I will be sure to get back to you. I'm a small channel, so I can quickly get back to questions that you might have. At any rate, thank you so much for watching this particular video. I hope it was useful for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.